Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. I'm actually on the way home from a pretty long day of thrifting. Been out hitting up thrift stores looking for stuff that I can flip on eBay, hopefully for a profit. And usually when I go thrifting, I'll hit up 5 or 6 thrift stores and follow along a route, and I'll take you guys with me and show you what I find along the way. Unfortunately though, most of the stores that I go to, I don't find anything. Like I might find something out of 1 or 2 of those 6 stores that I go to. And that doesn't make for such a great video. So a lot of the stuff that I find, you guys don't get to see. So I'm gonna change that today though, because I've been finding some really cool stuff lately, stuff that you could be on the lookout for. So I'm gonna do kind of a compilation video here and show you some of my recent thrift store finds. Like I said, stuff that you can be on the lookout for. Up first though is actually something that my wife found. It's pretty cool. All right, at a Goodwill, and Kayla just texted me from the opposite side of the store to grab a buggy and come to her. So that must mean she's got something good. All right, you got an armload of stuff. What have you got?
All this is Lululemon.
All that's Lulu?
Yep.
Even the jacket?
Mm-hmm. Found it
Good
over there
condition.
with the dresses.
They still got the tags on it. That never happens.
Yep, found it looking for that from
Got skirts? Little skirts? Stuff,
yep.
Can we hide it from our child?
Maybe not this though. I don't know. I might like that.
No. Good find, babe. So if you couldn't tell, that was a big bundle of Lululemon gear that Kayla found at that Goodwill. And you guys already know Lululemon is a great brand to be on the lookout for to resell on eBay. It sells pretty good. We paid about $4.50 for each piece. It was 7 skirts and a jacket. I've got each skirt listed for $29.99 plus shipping. I've already sold one, so we're kind of at that break-even point. So I think we're going to do pretty good on this haul. The one thing about it though is they were older pieces, so the sell-through rate is not super great, but they'll definitely still sell. And because they were older, they were a little bit harder to identify because the older Lulu stuff doesn't have the model number on the size dots. Fortunately though, I did find a website called Lulu Fanatics with a bunch of pictures. I relate really well to pictures, and I was able to identify them pretty quick. So definitely check out Lulu Fanatics if you're having trouble identifying Lulu stuff. And while Kayla certainly had the best find at that thrift store, I did find something pretty unique. I actually ended up paying $10 for this big chunk of wood that you see here. It's a P-Volve Pilates slant board, and it basically unfolds and lets you do different Pilates workouts. I'm not really sure.
So we're dynamically shifting that weight front and back.
But I looked it up at the thrift store and there was one listed, 5 if sold, and they were selling for around 50 bucks. So I figured that'd be worth picking up. And next up is actually the scenario that we discussed earlier. I went to 6 different thrift stores this day and only found stuff at this one Salvation Army. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually vintage Filson, but it's got that plantation logo on it. I don't know, it might be worth picking up anyway. Wow, looks really nice. I mean, like no tread wear. $6.99? Yeah. So I just found this Orvis briefcase. You can see it's in pretty good condition. There's worse on eBay that have sold for like 60, 70 bucks. So we're getting that. Got the Hokas for $6.99. They're a small size, but I think they're my daughter's size. And then, what do you guys think about the vintage CC Filson vest? I'm not sure. I mean, usually vintage CC Filson, anything sells. It's in good condition, but it does have the logo. I think it's worth it for $6. Leave me a comment down below and I'll let you know what I do. $6 for a Filson vest with a random logo on it. You have picked it up, leave me a comment, let me know, and we'll circle back. Filson's definitely one of my favorite brands to find. Their stuff sells for some good money and it sells really quick too. But I also got this pair of Hokas, and of course my daughter didn't like them. They were Bondi 7s and actually listed them on eBay, and they sold them in a couple of days for $35 plus shipping. Hoka's definitely one of those brands that I think has become oversaturated. Their sales, at least on eBay, have seemed to slow down for me, but this was a pretty good pair. And then the Orvis bag. This was actually a really cool canvas bag with leather accents, a vintage, what they call bat and kill bag. It was missing the shoulder strap, but they only wanted $3.99 for it, so I figured I'd take a chance. Well, it actually sold in like a week for 55 bucks plus shipping. That was another good find. But what about the Filson vest? Well, I actually bought it and brought it home, and I looked up that 5-star plantation and come to find out it's like this fancy shooting preserve in Alabama, like a really fancy shooting preserve in Alabama. So that may not have actually hurt the value a whole lot. Listed it for 65 bucks, and a week later I got an offer for 55. Decided to take it. 6 into 55 plus shipping. That's a pretty good flip. So this is kind of a crazy find. This is one of the most popular kid sets there are, the King Cobra Jr. These things go for like 150 bucks. Unfortunately though, there's no price on there. So I got to take it up there and see how much they want for it. Augusta, Georgia is probably one of my least favorite places to go thrifting. They tend to have some really high prices and I don't ever really find anything. But I happened to be down there getting some maintenance done on my car, so I figured I'd hit up a few thrift stores while I was there. Well, I ended up hitting up 7 thrift stores, and this was the only thing that I found. These are really good, though. This is a set of King Cobra Jr. clubs. They're basically for kids, and usually they're pretty easy to spot because they have this unique head cover on them. Unfortunately, mine was missing this head cover, but they still sold for 140 bucks plus shipping in like 2 days. And I ended up paying $34.99 for them. They weren't priced when I picked them up. And luckily the manager happened to be standing at the register when I brought them up there. He priced them at $34.99, so still a pretty good buy. But I also want to tell you something kind of unique about these Augusta Goodwills. You would think that being in Augusta, home of the Masters, you would find a bunch of Masters merch there that you could resell on eBay. And that stuff does really well, by the way, if you don't know. But honestly, you'd never find Masters merch at these Augusta Goodwills. That's because they only put it out once a year. Like a week before the tournament, they will put out all of their Masters stuff. They hoard it throughout the year. They'll release it like the week before the tournament and price it really, really high. I was there about a week and a half after the Masters, and they still had a pretty good amount of stuff, but there were some pretty crazy prices, like $17 for a crusty hat. Kind of interesting. And speaking of crusty hats, I did actually buy one of those the other day too. Found one at Goodwill, and it was only $2. Y'all, this might be the most insane find today. Vintage Levi's bucket hat with the orange tab. Hat's here like $1. That's pretty awesome. So I knew that Levi's made orange tab jeans and that they were worth some decent money on eBay, but I've never seen an orange tab bucket hat. I mean, how cool is that? I didn't even look it up. I just paid the $2, brought it home and did some research and actually ended up listing it at $175. I immediately got a bunch of lowball offers and some that were in the $90 to $100 range. And honestly, maybe I should have taken them 2 into 100. That's definitely a good flip. But I'm kind of sitting on it. I think it'll sell pretty well in the 140, 150 range if I take an offer. So we'll see. I definitely think it's a unique find. And I actually took a chance on another unique find the very next day. I may have actually taken too much of a chance. It was kind of the end of the day. I hadn't found anything all day. Maybe I was forcing it. You guys can let me know. All right, so I've sold these things before. They're like baby Dopplers, so you can listen to your baby's heartbeat. I think they're actually a Vero on eBay, even though there's like 5 listed and 160 something I've sold. But I'll put it up on Mercari and she'll get about 40 bucks, pretty quick. Here's some more baby stuff. Owlet Smart Sock, about $6 for it. This barcode, let's scan it. Pre-owned, $84. Let's look at used. 98 listed. When you're sold. 98 listed, 201 sold. Even just parts are going for like 30, 40, 50 bucks. I'll open up and see what's inside, but it's probably going to be a buy. Alright, so here's something pretty interesting. We've got a bunch of these military backpacks with frames. I want 20 bucks per pack. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's one over there. And there was 2 down there. I ended up getting 2 of them because they were the most complete. They're going to be $20 a piece, but they looks like they sell complete like this for $150. So I think it's going to be worth it. As a matter of fact, I might get 1 or 2 more just for the frames. Because even some of the frames were going for like 70 or 80 bucks. This one right here's got pads, straps, everything. But the pack isn't great. So maybe get that for 20 and sell it for 60. I'm gonna do some investigating. So these backpacks and military stuff in general can be very confusing. There's different model numbers, there's different contract numbers, there's different manufacturing dates, there's different manufacturers, and that's just on the backpack. There's also the same scenario on the frames. So you definitely, when you're looking this stuff up and when you're listing it, you want to make sure you include everything. There's a lot of different variations. I spent about 30 minutes at this Goodwill looking this stuff up, comparing things, and I could only find one exact comp, and that was for 150 bucks. Now there were some that were very similar that sold for a little bit less, and there were some very similar that even sold for a little bit more. So I ended up with 3 packs, kind of took a chance. I don't think I'll lose money at all. I think I'll do pretty well, but definitely took a chance. I did make a mistake on that Sonoline baby Doppler thing though. I thought I could put it on Macari. Well, yeah, I listed it and like a day later got a notification that it's not allowed. So now I've got a baby Doppler that I can't really do anything with other than my daughter and I did listen to our heartbeats the other day. That was pretty cool. But the other baby thing, the Owlet Smart Sock 2, apparently I am allowed to sell that on eBay, and that's a pretty easy 75 to 100 bucks. I opened it up, it was complete. I still need to test it, but I think everything's going to be okay. It's not a whole lot that can go wrong. But it's basically a sock baby monitor, heart rate monitor thing that you put on your baby while it's sleeping. It's next to your phone. Not real sure, but like I said, great sell-through rate. Should sell for around 75 to 100 bucks. Not bad for my $5.99 investment. So as you can kind of tell, finding stuff from thrift stores has been kind of random for me, kind of hit or miss. But there's been a few other things too, like this vintage Carolina hat that was pretty cool. Paid $5 for it from the boutique, sold it for $34. And then this random bag of Legos that I paid $2.99 for that had a minifigure in it that's worth $30. But let me know how things have been for you. You guys finding stuff steadily at thrift stores? Has it been hit or miss like it has been for me? Let me comment and let me know. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.